southbound Central.
Thank you guys for being here. My name is Detective Ryan Moreno, R-Y-A-N-M-O-R-E-N-O. I am assigned to South Traffic Detectives. We're here today. Obviously, we have a major problem in the city with traffic fatalities. Year to date, in the city of Los Angeles, we have 210 persons killed from traffic-related incidents. More particular here in South Traffic Division, we had, unfortunately, last week, our 70th victim killed in a traffic fatality. Many of these accidents are attributed to speed. I would say over half of them, and they could have been prevented. The case you're going to hear about that took place on August 16th, 2.5 weeks ago, where Letitia Washington was killed for just crossing the street, is another tragic case that, again, attributed to speed. My lead investigator, Detective Jerry Chavarria, will be speaking on that, give you some details. Right now, it's, we don't know what it is as far as why folks like to continue to just drive fast and dangerous in an unsafe manner. We currently have cases right now, one from last week where a man was killed down the street, pulling out of a parking lot, and a young female in her early 20s was driving drunk, coming back from a club in Hollywood, and collided with this person and ended up killing him. And what's sad is when you look into that case, this girl, in particular in this case, has been stopped over 11, 12 times in the last 5 years and cited, I think, 6, 7 times for speed. And it's one of those questions you ask is how many times do you have to be stopped or warned or told that this is unsafe and this is dangerous, you shouldn't do this. So driving fast, over driving speeds is just really, really, really creating a lot of problems right now in the city. And we're speaking on folks that have been killed, but we have a lot of folks also that are seriously injured, still in hospitals, many that are in comas, that we're not sure if they're going to make it out. So we do ask the public to slow down, use caution, use better judgment, especially now that people are back in school, kids are back out, and just to be smart. It's the speed game here that's going on, crosses over into what you guys saw over the weekend, where we have our other problems with the guys that are doing the street racing and the takeovers. Many of those cases cross over into our cases, and a lot of those incidents lead to death or people that are also severely injured. I want just everybody to be clear on this. Like this weekend, for example, many of those cases where these guys, the new trend where they're going and doing takeovers and burning cars and starting to like loot and get into buildings and that kind of stuff again, we have detectives ready to go, whichever direction you want to take it. So if you want to start burning things, whatever, that's fine, because they will start getting to jail, and arson charges, you'll be facing arson, burglary, you name it, however you want to go. So I want everybody to be very clear that it's not just cars and you're going to get a ticket or cited or get impounds. This will go in any direction you guys want to take it. So we ask everybody to use, again, better judgment, be respectful, and take that stuff somewhere else. I mean, there's no place right here. It's too busy right now. It's too dangerous. So I can speak more on that later on after this, okay? But I want to, again, go back to this unfortunate incident that happened 2.5 weeks ago in Southeast Division over on Central and 88th. So Detective Chavarria is going to go ahead and give you guys the details on that.
Yes, good morning. My name is Detective Gerald, G-E-R-A-L-D, Chavarria, C-H-A-V-A-R-R-I-A. On Friday, April 16th, just before 10 p.m., in the area of Central Avenue and 88th Street, Miss Letitia Washington, 43-year-old resident of the area, was simply crossing the street from getting some food in a well-lit area, a lot of people in that area, where in what we believe is a white BMW, compact sedan, possibly a 300, 400 series, four-door vehicle, driving at a high rate of speed, southbound on Central Avenue, collided into her. Now, what's notable in this case is another vehicle avoided hitting her. Therefore, this driver could have easily seen her had this person not perhaps been distracted or driving too fast for the conditions of the road. Now, the driver continued southbound Central Avenue, and we have the vehicle south of Century Boulevard. So if you know of someone or a vehicle you might have seen in your neighborhood or you heard about, even the slightest inclination that this could be related to this case, whether you saw a vehicle parked in a street, a driveway, an alley, or someone's backyard, it has notable damage, significant damage on the hood, as possibly a smashed windshield. The video will show that the vehicle before the impact was traveling, was speeding in essence. After the impact, it slowed down significantly, possibly to about 30 miles an hour, more than likely because the driver was not able to see out the windshield due to the smashed windshield. If you know of somebody driving a similar vehicle that was in the area of Manchester, east of Central Avenue for some reason that evening, may have been coming from work, school, or running an errand, give us a call. You can call me directly at 213-924-3621, or you can contact our watch commander at South Traffic Division. Do we have any questions at this point related to the case?
You said April 16th, did you mean August 16th?
I'm sorry, yes, August 16th, just before 10 p.m. Thank you for that. Okay, at this moment, I would like the family. We're accompanied by Ms. Washington's sister and mother. Monique? Yes. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself, sweetie.
Hi, I'm Monique, M-O-N-I-Q-U-E. I'm Letitia's little sister. This is my mom. So I'm just gonna speak on the behalf of my family. My sister was only 43 years old. She still had a long life to live. It was unfortunately taken away from her due to this person driving fast. They didn't even stop to like render her aid. My family, this was like, it just broke us. Like I'm being strong right here, right now, for me and my mom, my family, her daughters. This was just an unfortunate situation. I just hate the fact that they didn't pull over, stop to help her, to see if she was okay, which she wasn't. I just want justice for her. And we're gonna get justice for her. And we're just not gonna stop until we get justice for her. And that's it. We just taking everything day by day. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Monique. Say your name, spell it, okay?
Hi, my name is Rosetta Ross, R-O-S-E-T-T-A, R-O-S-S. I'm here today on behalf of my daughter, Letitia Washington, that I love dearly to my heart. Every day I'm always with her, talking to her, telling her how to do right, how to, stay out of trouble and anything. I'm here for her. But I come to find a knock at my window telling me to get up, come down on Central because Letitia was hit, my daughter, and it didn't look good. I'm just saying, I seen the video today and a car stopping, slowing down. I wish you would have slowed down because you took my daughter away and I'm missing her a lot. And I hope you turn yourself in for what you did because she was a loving daughter, smiling, loved people, family. Just do the right thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose.
Yeah.
All right, like Detective Chavarria mentioned, we're asking people whether you own an auto body repair shop, maybe a tow truck service, whatever it is. If you had recently had dealings with a white BMW with significant damage, we'd like to hear from you. So you can remain anonymous, and I'm not sure you mentioned, but there is a $50,000 reward for anybody with information leading to the identity, arrest, and conviction of the person responsible for taking Ms. Washington's life. So is there any questions? We've had over the years, we've had fatalities there, pedestrians being struck. And what we learned years ago were, for a while, it used to be pretty poorly lit because of the trees over there. It used to cover some of the street lights. But I think a few years back, we ended up putting in, complaint on that. And it came down, they trimmed the trees, lights got updated. And now, like my partner was saying, it's pretty well lit now. So there really isn't an excuse there anymore, where it's too dark, can't see somebody. And again, if you're not driving double, triple speed limit, you're able to see these things ahead of time and avoid them. Some people, say, well, you shouldn't be in the street or shouldn't be crossing the street or jaywalking or walking, but just because you're crossing the street or any of those things, it shouldn't be a death sentence, right? There's responsibility on the drivers to actually drive in somewhat of a speed that's somewhat safe, that you can avoid something that happens in front of you that you weren't expecting. Yeah, unfortunately we are. Like I said earlier, we right now have 70 fatalities for the year of persons dead in our area. I want to say about 29, 30 of those cases are hit and runs. One good note is a lot of those cases, we've been making a lot of progress and there's been a lot of arrests made. I think year to date right now, I think we have 10 arrests so far in where the suspect arrested for murder. We're actually based on their driving and whether there was alcohol and drugs involved also. And I think we have 11 cases right now for this year that involving hit and runs that they have been arrested for, caught and arrested for gross vehicular manslaughter. Again, based on the driving behavior leading up to the collision and then after. So, I think it's a big, a lot of folks think that an accident is an accident and like it's going to fall in the hands of Allstate or Farmers Insurance is going to figure it out. But if you're driving reckless and you're unsafe and you're running red lights and you're speeding and you're just unsafe, you get caught, you hit somebody, and they die or they're seriously injured, you're pretty much going to go to prison. There's pretty much no wiggle room around that. I think we have a good, as far as like a liaison and relationship with the courts, where they kind of see it the same way too. This isn't our opinion, what we think. This is basically on hard evidence, what the videos show, witnesses, and what the aftermath of the damage of the vehicle show that this was too much speed, right? So again, we just got asking everybody to slow down because that's something that you actually can control and you can prevent and do yourself. So. That starts with everybody themselves, when they drive, get behind the wheel.
Everyone just says everyone's driving crazy. The question is, speeding, hit and runs, street takeovers. I mean, what's the big picture of that?
Good morning. My name is Craig Valenzuela, C-R-A-I-G, last name Valenzuela, V as in Victor, A-L-E-N. Z-U-E-L-A. I'm a commander and I am the commanding officer of LAPD's traffic group. Specifically to the question of just driving in general, so many different facets to that question in terms of the kinds of things we're seeing in the city and the kind of things that we're seeing throughout the region. This is not a Los Angeles problem, much like I spoke yesterday about street racing. This is not a Los Angeles problem. This is a Southern California, this is a regional problem. Whether it's merely slowing down and having respect for others and being careful and seeing those kids crossing the street, or seeing this woman in her life senselessly taken just because somebody was driving too fast. Or like we saw yesterday and the day before with the street takeovers. We just need people to slow down, do the right thing. We need families, we need communities to also take charge in terms of, do families know, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, moms, and dads know that their kids, their loved ones are out street racing? Do they see slick tires? Do they see the fast cars that are modified to street race? We need communities to help us and take responsibility for that too. Thank you.
You know, to add on to what you're saying, you know, we do, like, looking ahead at 2025, we're trying to create new strategies, meetings. We talk with like a lot of the local agencies. We have meetings and we try to figure out maybe different methods and, again, like what's working, what's not working, what can we do better. I recently attended some conference out of state, and like the commander just pointed out, this problem is happening in Texas, it's in New Jersey, Florida, it's happening all over the country, and it's starting to grow. So, you know, everybody's trying to figure out what to do best, how to approach it. And it's, again, in a perfect world, we're not trying to create a problem where it's an arrestable situation. We'd like other things to happen that, you know, to fall in place. But I know one thing that people say is, well, give these kids, and it's not always kids, there's adults too, but give them a place to go, and maybe they'll stop doing this and they'll go somewhere else. We have the Irwindale Speedway. They think that it's open on Thursday nights and certain nights of the week for this to happen. And we talk to a lot of these guys that partake in the takeovers and the speeding and the racing and stuff, and they don't want to go there. Sometimes, some of it's different reasons, it's too far or whatever, but a lot of it's the excitement of just cat and mouse with the police, knowing you're doing something you're not supposed to do, it's wrong, and that whole game, that whole hype of it. So I don't know, we're trying to create new things, but we're hoping next year, one thing we talk about, we kick around is, trying to maybe identify like our 20 most problematic intersections in the city and create possibly like some city ordinance, like safety zones. So like Thursday night, 6 p.m. till Monday morning, 6 a.m. And if you're in there and you're double parked, you're blocking traffic, you're standing as a ped, blocking traffic, you're doing donuts and swinging, what have you, there'll be stiffer penalties and fines, could get increased, maybe, you know, losing your car, jail time, what have you. But this seems to be a problem that the only thing that seems they work is when you hit people financially, like when you're taking cars, or when people start going to jail and start going to prison. We had one of the first cases, I think, my understanding, in the nation, where 2 years ago when Eliza Oaxaca was killed on Christmas at a takeover down the street here on Florence and Crenshaw. That case is about to go to trial, about to start its court, it's a trial. And, you know, that's one where it goes back to, these guys are actually going to go, they're actually being held for murder. It's not, you know, just a hit and run or whatever, actually murder. And they see that based on everything that happened leading up to that, okay? And it's just such a reckless behavior, it's so dangerous that you guys see a lot of the videos you get and you see on social media. There's people every weekend getting hit, smashed, and I don't know how some of these people don't end up not dying, but there's people seriously injured every weekend from this stuff. And you know, like I said, I think it's everybody individual responsibility. There are families where if you know your kid or loved one is participating in this stuff, even like your employers. I think one of the videos this weekend, the one that happened on by Felix Chevrolet, if you look at the video really closely, there's a kid in there wearing or a young male wearing like a Lowe's home improvement vest. So who knows if he doesn't work there or he does work for Lowe's, but if he works for Lowe's, that's your employer, yeah, that's one of your employees right there, then maybe something's happened because you know what I mean? I think everybody knows people when you start watching these videos, and maybe they need to be called out because it's like, you're a grown man, what are you doing out there? What are you doing at 3 in the morning? You're a grown man. Like, maybe you have kids, maybe you should be home, maybe it's a school night, which it was Monday night. So what are you doing out there? You're a grown person, act like it. But you got adults out there mixing in with these kids, and you know, and we actually had a case 2 months ago where there was a father-son doing the swinging, and they were over on Manchester and San Pedro. They actually lose control of their car, and I think they were in a Camaro, and hit a bunch of pedestrians that were spectating. Well, the crowd turns on them and ends up beating them and damaging them, smashing their car, ends up robbing them, taking their clothes off and everything. So these guys were if for the night, for I guess 5 minutes, were heroes for a second spinning, but then all of a sudden the mob turned on them, and they beat them pretty good. Both father and son took their clothes, took everything, robbed them, and then became victims. They're kind of slash victim slash suspect, but you know what? You kind of put yourself in that position. So again, you're a parent. What are you doing after your kid? What are you doing? Especially doing that stuff. So like I said, we just ask everybody to use better judgment, be smart, exercise a little bit more chill, you know. But yeah.
We can set up for Spanish.
Okay. So now we're going to end this, conclude this right now. Chavarria will be able to do Spanish right now for you guys. So, okay. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Let me just be Telemundo and Univision. You want to just do it separately? Okay. I just would like if I'll be brief so nobody walks up to the mic stand here. Sí, buenos días. Soy el detective Gerald, Gerald Chavarria, de la Policía de Los Ángeles, División de Tránsito Sur. Estamos aquí esta mañana para anunciar la recompensa de hasta $50,000 por información que llegue a la captura y convicción a la persona que iba conduciendo un BMW blanco de 4 puertas en la calle Central y la 88. La noche del viernes, agosto 16, un poco antes de las 10 de la noche, nuestra víctima de 43 años, nombre es Leticia Washington, iba cruzando la calle en una área con bastante luz, bastantes peatones, y por cualquier razón el conductor quizás estaba distraído, pero definitivamente exceso de velocidad impactó a Miss Washington, a la señorita Washington, y causando su muerte inmediatamente. Este vehículo continuó sin detenerse, sin revisar si la persona estaba viva, y continuó hacia el sur sobre la Central, pasando la Century Boulevard. El vehículo tiene significantemente daño al frente, la defensa del frente, quizás el vidrio está también dañado, como ven en los videos y fotos que hemos proveído. Si algún amigo, pariente o usted mismo fue el que causó este choque y mató a la señora Washington, queremos oír de ustedes. Me pueden llamar directamente al 213-924-3621 o llamen a la estación de Tránsito Sur aquí de la Policía de Los Ángeles. Y recuerden, bajen la velocidad. El mensaje más importante aquí es, no hay razón por qué ir 70, 80 millas por hora en una área de 35 millas por hora. No tomen, tengan un conductor designado y bajen la velocidad, es lo más importante. Y en este momento, ¿alguna pregunta? Sí, claro. Estamos viendo más y más frecuencia en arrancones, en varias intersecciones mayores, y esto estamos dándole hincapié. No solamente en nuestro departamento, pero sino en una área regional, varias agencias estamos tomando iniciativas para crear mayores penalidades y consecuencias para estos arrancones. Porque no solamente es una diversión, adolescentes no tienen que hacer un fin de semana, hay adultos mayores, simplemente a las 3, 4 de la mañana, quebrando vidrios en los negocios aledaños a estos arrancones, y eso no es aceptable. Entonces, no solamente estamos trabajando en identificar a estas personas, pero ¿qué más cargos podemos brindarles ante los tribunales? Por ejemplo, hay casos que simplemente fue un choque y se dio a la fuga, y tenemos evidencia que esta persona con malicia iba conduciendo exceso de velocidad y causando muerte. Esto puede ser un asesinato, y hemos tenido casos que hemos cargado a estos individuos con asesinato que pueden ir a prisión de 20 años o más.
El mensaje para los familiares, quizás padres, ven sus hijos con sus carros, modificándolos para este tipo de rangos, ¿qué mensaje les está dando?
Sí, claro. Ustedes ven los videos, ven los tipos de carros, cómo se ven, los daños que tienen. Vean las características de estos vehículos. Ya, si tiene uno estacionado en su driveway enfrente de su casa y le pertenece a algún pariente, hijo, sobrino, etcétera, tenga esa conversación y diga, deshágase de ese carro. No hay necesidad de andar un carro semi de carrera, por decir así, en las calles urbanas de Los Ángeles. Porque el propósito para ese vehículo es arrancones y echarse de carreras, que causa tanto daño como a la familia aquí de Leticia Washington. ¿Perdón? Sí, detective Gerald, Gerald Chavarría, Chavarria. Muchas gracias. Okay, that concludes the, thank you. Okay. There's also, did you handle substance? Yeah. So,